Okay, I didn't know. Game 3 of this fine Friday in Columbus, Georgia at R.G. Jones Field at the South Commons Softball Complex. We welcome you to the NAIA Softball World Series. If you're joining us for the first time, hello and welcome. If you've been with us for the first 2 games today, hasn't it been so much fun? It's the first time we get a look at the number 1 seed in the bracket, Oregon Tech. The Owls are finally adjusted their bodies back into normality after taking the trip from Oregon to Georgia. The 4-hour difference had them falling asleep at 1 and 2 a.m. the past couple of nights, but with the first round bye earned by the number 1 seed, Casey Schmidt and her team got to adjust their bodies to the time zone a bit more. First pitch at 4 o'clock on the nose, thrown by Casey Schmidt. The sophomore pitcher from Beaverton, Oregon. Named the 2023 Cascade Conference Pitcher of the Year. Oregon Tech relies on their pitcher, who has just 1 loss this season, to 25 wins. Overall, just 8 losses total for the Owls of Oregon Tech. Kalena Oots smacks one to left field. It's caught by the center fielder, Lexi Klum. As Kalena Oots, the leadoff batter for Central Methodist, our 8th seed. After defeating Baker in the 8-9 game, the Eagles move on in the winner's bracket. A look at their lineup. 42 wins now after defeating their Heart of America Conference foe Baker in round 1. The Wildcats were booted from the tournament this morning, falling to Georgia Gwinnett earlier in the day. Final score was 6-2 for the Grizzlies. 1 versus 8. It was all chalk until just a few minutes ago. As Midland, the 10 seed, upset number 6 USAO in the losers bracket, sending home the Drovers. Midland awaits the loser of the late game today. The loser of this game will head to the losers bracket, of course, and play Georgia Gwinnett. This is Joely Crider, the 3rd baseman for Central Methodist. Off a 2-0 win over Baker yesterday. Crider yet to reach first base in her 4 at-bats so far this World Series, this being number 5. Pitch from Schmidt. Fills up the balls and strikes. 3-2. 1 out down. Madison White on deck. The payoff. Oregon Tech led by their head coach Greg Stewart in his 19th season with the program. Another try at the payoff. Fouled once more. What an at-bat for Joely Crider. Batting .367 on the year. Crider with 54 hits. The freshman from Eagle, Idaho. Fouls another. The winner of today's game moves on in the winner's bracket to take on the number 4 seeded Southern Oregon Raiders, also members of the Cascade Conference. The discipline for Joely Crider earns herself a walk. Madison White steps up, batting .319 on the season. Had the game-winning home run in the bottom of the 8th against Baker. A 2-run shot that brought home Kalena Utz and ended the ball game in style. That was her last swing of the bat. She went 3 for 4 yesterday. It's a battle of veteran coaches here. We mentioned Greg Stewart, 19th year for Oregon Tech. Got win number 600 in his belt a couple seasons ago. White grounds to short, quick throw over in time. Kayla Mick makes the play over to Puakea Milborn. Casey Schmidt getting some help from the infield as Joely Crider moves over to second. Base running was quite important for Pat Reardon's club in his 31st season with the Eagles, the third base coach when his team is on the base paths. A lot of big-time decisions for Coach Reardon yesterday in the win over Baker. Key double steal moves. But it was a 0-0 ball game between the two Heart of America Conference rivals into the 8th inning. A ripper of a shot from Elizabeth Palumbo dies in the air. The play made. Maggie Buckholtz ends the top of the first. We get a look at the Owls' bats for the first time in 2023 at the World Series after this.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, it's a great chance that I can do it. And the First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
Just one left in the top of the first for Central Methodist. In the pitcher's duel yesterday, we had a long look at Central Methodist and their pitcher Jordan Ball. The freshman went 8 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs against in the 8-inning shutout. Today we get a look at Haley Cotter. Haley, also a freshman this year, gets start number 1 in the World Series of her career. Zoe Allen stands in as the left fielder leading off for the Owls. second on the team in batting average with a .410 mark. Zoe Allen, fair ball. She turns for two and slides in with ease. The Owls are in flight in Georgia. The first hit for Oregon Tech in the 2023 World Series to the leadoff left fielder, Zoe Allen. Oregon Tech winning 50 games this season ties a program record. A record which they set last season. Joely Crider gets Kayla Mick to swing. Mick sends it to center. Kalena Oots makes the play. A quick throw to the cutoff. Madison Roberts holds Allen at second. Kalena Oots, one of the stars for Southern Methodist, one of the pure leaders on that squad, makes the routine play in center. Up steps Maggie Buckholtz. Speaking of stars, the University of New Mexico transfer bats .418 this year. Maggie was originally committed to Oregon when she was in high school before an injury changed her path. Planned on playing at Oregon, then shattered her right heel falling down steep stairs in her old home. Nine screws and a plate in her right foot now. A year of recovery earned herself a full ride to New Mexico, playing Division I softball in the NCAA. Or as we've said here at the NAIA Softball Tournament, the other guys. Buckholtz was starting to lose the love of the game while playing at New Mexico. Was done with softball and got a call about Oregon Tech, met with the coach, loved the campus. Now she finds herself as a Gold Glove winner and an all-Cascade Conference player in her senior season. Buckholtz works herself a 3-2. Slaps it to first. Out number 2. A look at the lineup for Oregon Tech. Already at the 4-hole, J.C. Sievert. Caught to start the inning. Takes off the knee pads to swing the bat, though she watches strike number 1 over the heart of the plate. That last out for Buckholtz, a 3-4-3. Flyer to Oots. Easy play for the captain. The runner stranded at third. No runs, just that one hit. No errors and the one left. We head to the second. Knotted at zip.
These lights were never meant to stay dark. These seats were never meant to stay empty. These places were never built to stay quiet. Game day looks different today. It might take some getting used to, but we come here for the same purpose: to celebrate, to embrace in heartbreak, to hope.
The fifth all-time trip to the World Series for Oregon Tech as the 1 seed, no less. This the highest they have ever been in terms of seeding. 4th straight year they've made it to the Final 10. Last year as the 2 seed, came up short. Madison Roberts fouls one away just in front of the diving attempt from Addison Kashnik. That'll dirty the knees a little bit on the dirt in foul territory. For Oregon Tech, 2 years ago, they came close as the number 4 seeded team in the bracket lost in the championship to the number 1 seeded Southern Oregon Raiders. A grounder up the middle for another hit. The first on the day for Central Methodist to Madison Roberts. Montana Stengel yet to get on base in the World Series. 0 for 3 yesterday against Baker. Watches ball 1 outside. Crider stranded at second in the first inning for Central Methodist. Each team leaving a runner in our scoreless first inning. Grounded to short. Could it be 2? No, but they get the lead runner, and Roberts heads to the dugout. Montana Stengel reaches on a fielder's choice, which brings up Casey Joely. Hitting .376 this season. One for 3 yesterday. This is Casey on Casey action here. Though spelled differently. The pitcher, Casey Schmidt, K-A-C-I-E. Meanwhile, the batter for the Eagles, K-A-Y-S-I-E. Schmidt deals. Popped in the air by Joely. Lexi Klum calls off Zoe Allen and Kayla Mick and makes the play herself for out number 2. Lauren Hill steps up. No, not that Lauren Hill. I do not believe that the catcher for the Central Methodist Eagles dropped an album in the 90s and then seemingly disappeared. No, she did not all of a sudden become a softballer for the Eagles in Missouri. This Lauren Hill is playing in her first year as a starter in her sophomore season at the catching position. Smacks this one foul. That looks like my drive, just a slice off and to the right into the bleachers. Got good wood on it, but you can tell by the way that that thing sliced, the spin of the ball from Casey Schmidt. It's going quite well early on. The 1-1 fouled off. Montana Stengel stands at first, reaching on a fielder's choice. The 1-2 to Lauren Hill. She reaches out, pokes it to second. Over to short in time. Cook to Mick to end the top of the second. Still scoreless, one hit aside. Oregon Tech due up 5, 6, 7 after this.
Excellence knows it's not going to be perfect.
It's about putting courage first.
Taking risks. Trusting my athleticism.
Canceling out the negativity.
Because preparation equals confidence.
And confidence is born from courage.
What's your mantra?
At Spring Arbor University, we develop world changers focused on shining the light of Jesus Christ into the world. They are engineers, nurses, business professionals, teachers, athletes, musicians, social workers, and other industry leaders, bringing excellence to their work for the glory of God. Join our thousands of students and graduates and let your light shine at Spring Arbor University.
First pitch of the bottom of the second, wrapped to third, off the glove of Joely Crider. Good for a base runner. Lexi Klum. Reaches first on an error. Our first error of the ball game. So far at the World Series, we've either had a lot of errors rather swiftly or none at all. There's been very little in between. Our game yesterday in the 4-5 matchup between Southern Oregon and Georgia Gwinnett felt off from the very beginning. The game starting with an error for each leadoff batter getting on base. Big swing and a miss. The runner takes off. The tag not in time. Klum to second on the steal. The count 1-1 to Mackenzie Staub. The designated player holds up on ball 2 as Klum went about halfway to third base there. Watch Madison White at second base. She's got a cover. On the bunt attempt, Madison White kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place when a right-handed batter is going to bunt, as the Eagles send both the first and third baseman down the path to cover the bunt. White is tasked with covering first and second on a throwdown, as Mackenzie Roberts, the shortstop, covers third. Pitch just outside. The 3-2 to Staub. Another check swing. Staub earns a walk. It brings up the Hawaiian, Puakea Milbourne. Drops down a bunt. Back to the pitcher, over to first. Gets away. The first run scores. Zoe Allen. Make it Lexi Klum, I beg your pardon, who crosses the bag at third. Recognizes the error. And taps home plate with plenty of ease. Oregon Tech takes a 1-0 lead. Beautiful bunt from Puakea Milbourne. Would have been a close play at the plate. Saw the first base coach, Bobby Mick, wave his arms safe. What energy Oregon Tech has. Can you tell that Oregon Tech hasn't played yet in the World Series? They have been chomping at the bit. Came down on Tuesday. Trying to adjust their bodies to the Eastern time zone. I was up bright and early this morning on my elevator down from one of the top floors in our hotel. I was met by Coach Greg Stewart of Oregon Tech. Didn't look like he was fazed by the time zone shift. Look at this excellence. Guarding the running. Incredible poise from Madison Roberts. No panic at all in there. As Addie Kashnik stands in with runners at the corners. She pulls back. There goes the runner to second. Throw is picked off by Madison White. That holds Mackenzie Staub. A pinch runner at second adds some wheels. Lofted to center. Diving effort. Or perhaps rather just the quick wheels of Kalena Oots. Makes the play for out number 1. And holds Staub at third. A 1-0 lead for the Owls thanks to Lexi Klum crossing home plate on an error. 2 errors this inning. Now the 9-hole hitter, Nita Cook. A gapper. 1 run will score. Another as well. As Maddie DeVerna, the pinch runner, crosses home plate right behind Mackenzie Staub. Nita Cook delivers a 2 RBI double in the bottom of the second. Oregon Tech up 3-0. You couldn't have dropped that in the gap between Oots and Joely any better if you ran it out and placed it at the fence yourself. 1 down, 3 runs have scored. Haley Cotter, one of 3 pitchers on the staff for Central Methodist that we were expected to see this World Series. Here's the 1-2. In the dirt, a swing from Allen, tossed down to first in time to successfully complete the first strikeout on the day for Joely Crider. Kayla Mick flew out to center her first time up. An inning ago. OIT up 3-0. The Eagles of Central Methodist moving a lot in the middle of the infield, trying to cover Nita Cook at second. In the dirt once more, good backstop work from Lauren Hill. Another pitch down low. Cotter not wanting to go upstairs at all, staying in the basement. Perhaps it's furnished. Here's the 1-2. Another one down low that got Mick to swing for strikeout number 2. That ends the second. Not before the Owls strike. 3 straight runs for Oregon Tech. A 3-0 lead heading into the third.
I have a little birthday message for you from someone too.
I heard you really love basketball. You're a good shooter and a good dribbler. Happy birthday, MJ, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Rihanna gets the crowd that traveled to Georgia ready for inning number 3. First pitch to the 9-hole batter on the day, Caitlin Kaiser. Batting .384. You see this a lot in college softball or pro softball. Shoot, even baseball. Have your 9-hole hitter as also one of your better hitters in terms of average down in the order. Almost flips the script for your lineup usually. Kaiser skies it to left center, just not enough, but it falls. Kaiser pulls up at second base. The senior from Kansas City with the leadoff double. And she turns the bat to her former high school teammate, Kalena Utz from Staley High School in Kansas City. Caitlin Kaiser, the senior. Kalena Utz, the junior. The 1-0 slapped down the third base line. Asking a lot of coaches of successful programs that I got to speak with preparing for this NAIA Softball World Series. A common thread, the best recruiting process for elite players is get their former teammates to do it for you. Oots moves her former high school teammate over to third with a beautiful sliding single. Slid that one right between the gap of Addie Kashnick and Kayla Mick. Neither could make the play. Zoe Allen came in to field the grounder. Not before Kaiser slowed up at third. Oots at first. Draws quite the good amount of attention to Greg Stewart. 695 wins for that man in the center of your screen. Just 270 losses. Approaching career win number 700. This year, his 9th season in his career, being named the Cascade Conference Coach of the Year. Won it last year as well. For Coach Stewart, it is highly improbable that he will get win number 700 this season. Most likely it will be win number 1 or 2 next year. As the 1 seed with the first round bye. Even if Oregon Tech is to sweep the World Series, they could do it in a matter of 4 games. A high towering shot from Joely Crider, caught in left field by Zoe Allen rather. Joely Crider flies out for the sacrifice that puts Central Methodist on the board. Caitlin Kaiser tags up and gives the Eagles 1 run in response to the 3-run bottom of the second for Oregon Tech. Oots read it well and remained at first. Madison White grounded out to short in the first time up. White was heating up yesterday in the game against Baker. Had back-to-back singles to left before smoking the game-winning home run in the bottom of the 8th. She reaches out, lunges with the end of the bat. It's great tracking, young man. Quick on his feet in front of the Central Methodist dugout. (3-1) the score, 2-1 the count. Up the middle, a diving effort by both Nita Cook and Kayla Mick, cannot stop it. Madison White with a hit within the infield. 3 hits this inning for Central Methodist. That brings up Elizabeth Palumbo with runners at first and second. Keep an eye out on those runners, as Coach Pat Reardon loves to get fancy on the base paths. And with Oots and White out there as runners, there's a good chance that could happen. Oots leads the team with 24 stolen bases. High popper in the infield. Sievert was called off by Schmidt, wisely so. JC didn't even pop off the mask. That ball popped right where the shadows are over home plate. Schmidt was able to read it, looking up into the roof and at the backstop. Palumbo sat down Madison Roberts steps up. Two outs down, 1 run on the board for the Eagles. Runners at first and second. This is the second round of the NAIA Softball World Series in Columbus, Georgia. All fighting in the battle for the red banner. Oregon Tech has one red banner hanging at their stadium on the West Coast, the 2011 National Championship. A grounder to second. Nita Cook finds Puakea Milbourne for out number 3. The Eagles leave 2 on the paths, but they get 1 to touch home. Kalena Oots and company go to work in the bottom of the 3rd.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app, instant uploads, and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
Maggie Buckholtz to lead things off, 3-4-5 in the 3rd inning for the Owls of Oregon Tech. Shared that story in the first on Maggie Buckholtz. Quite a path her life has taken. But in her words, she couldn't have ended at a better spot. And her stats back it up in her senior season, hitting .418 this year. Single. That came flying off the bat. I can't tell you the exit velocity off that one, but Madison White could tell you it was difficult to read. The fake bunt for J.C. Sievert moves the infielders around. Plenty of action so far. 4-3 are the hits in favor of the Eagles of Central Methodist. Joely Crider, just 7 wins this season. The circle this year. Just 2 conference games played by Joely Crider in the circle. Joely pitched back-to-back games to end the opening round against Freed Hardman out of Tennessee. A 9-1 win and a 6-4 win. Total of 10 innings pitched between the two for Joely. Allowed 7 hits in those 2 appearances combined, while recording 9 strikeouts. Right back to her. Toss to first, low, but in time. Sievert takes the jog back to the bench as Joely Crider resets in the circle. can hear. When you're going west to east, you can kind of sit in the air and float there while the earth spins below you. Makes for a much quicker trip from Oregon to Georgia. For Oregon Tech, they would like their flight home back, regardless of how long it is, to be victorious. You hear a lot of talk about long bus rides home after games at the lower levels. That would be quite the long plane ride. Strike called on the inside corner. Brian Soleil, our home plate umpire, has been fairly consistent through the first 2.5. That one consistent with just about every umpire in America. Right down the heart of the plate. Strike 2. 1 out gone by. The runner at second, Maggie Buckholz, ready to take off at a moment's notice. Boy, Lexi Klum got good wood on that one. Just a hair late. See if she can catch up to Cotter. The 2-2 line to short. Roberts across the diamond in time for 1. Back to third. The ball gets away from Crider. That'll score Oregon Tech's 4th run. Maggie Buckholz comes around to score with a heads-up base running play. Klum sits down on the ground out. 2 outs gone by. But Maggie Buckholz with the leadoff single. The steal of second base. I beg your pardon, no steal on that for Buckholz. She moved over on Sievert's ground out to the pitcher. Comes around to score. It's the kind of manufacturing runs that you need at the World Series. No matter what your lead is, every run important, every swing of the bat crucial. Lauren Hill makes the jog out to the circle. Three balls, no strikes. What will pitching coach Jonathan Lynch call here for Haley Cotter? Just play catch is, I'm sure, what he said from the dugout. Right down Broad Street, that one in for strike 1. 3-1. A pure hitter's count here. Mackenzie Staub cracks the bat to short. Well in time from Roberts to Palumbo to end the third. 1 run. All manufactured by Maggie Buckholz. A 4-1 lead for Oregon Tech. Central Methodist goes to work. 6, 7, 8 coming up.
Sell online tickets directly from your school's website. Scan digital or printed tickets with the Hometown Gate app. And get immediate access to ticket revenue with real-time reporting at no cost to your school. It's that easy to bring touchless ticketing to your hometown. Hometown. Fast scans, happy fans.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought, if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it, because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, it's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
A 4-1 lead for OIT in the top of the fourth. Casey Schmidt so far in this one has allowed 4 hits, but 3 errors in the field on Central Methodist has not helped her out. So far, the leadoff batter in all 3 innings has gotten on base. That being for Oregon Tech. 2 for 3 is Central Methodist for their leadoff batters. Big swing and a miss, strikeout. Casey Schmidt with K number 1. Joely steps up. Casey Joely, a freshman outfielder on a rather young roster for Central Methodist. Outside of the senior Caitlin Kaiser and the junior Kalena Utz, plenty of freshmen starting. As is the case for Oregon Tech, 3 freshman infielders. Kashnik over at third. Nikita Cook at second. And Puakea Milborn at first. All freshmen. The lone junior on the infield, the steady hand, if you will, is Kayla Mick at short. The 1-2 from Schmidt. Up high. Oregon Tech with one of the most beautiful campuses in the NAIA. Foul ball. Proudly let it be known, Brian Soule jumped up quickly from behind the plate to blow the play dead. Oregon Tech at the footstep of the Upper Klamath Lake. 2 hours south of Bend, Oregon, 30 minutes north of the California border. Calm, cool, and collected, Casey Schmidt makes the play herself. Gotta love the smile on the sophomore Casey Schmidt, making the play look so easy. And right back to work. She's dialed in. Hard not to keep that smile on your face. Love how she immediately turned around and put the 2 in the air. She needs help on this one. Mick across in time. Puakea Milborn hobbles to the dugout. 3 outs retired. We take a look at what happened over there. Puakea maybe Got stepped on there on the edge of the bag. She has a chat with Greg Stewart. We'll see if she's all right, as she's the leadoff batter in the next half inning.
These lights were never meant to stay dark. These seats were never meant to stay empty. These places were never built to stay quiet. Game day looks different today. It might take some getting used to, but we come here for the same purpose: to celebrate, to embrace and heartbreak, to hope.
A fine day in Columbus, Georgia. Beautiful for a barbecue. .80 degrees, mostly sunny. We hope that the large dark gray cloud above our field at the moment blows over rather soon. Just a quick look at the forecast, which was mostly sunny skies for the next 6 days. Just a little bit of concern. I'll say it to jinx it so it doesn't happen. 30% chance of thunderstorms forecast in the next hour. And then at 7 p.m., bright and sunny once more. But I'm no meteorologist. And I'm also no Nostradamus. We've hit the 5 o'clock hour local time. A 4-1 lead for Oregon Tech in the top of the 5th. Casey Schmidt wheeling and dealing in the circle. 2-2 the count. Just one strikeout, but one walk. 4 hits in 4 full innings pitched for Casey Schmidt. Pitch number 65 fouled away. It was 3 up, 3 down in the 4th for Central Methodist. Came off the heels of the 1 run put up in the 3rd. Swing and a miss for Caitlin Kaiser. Strikeout number 2 for Schmidt. Kalena Oots up top. The 2023 Heart of America Conference Player of the Year. She watches ball 1. Affectionately known as Biscuit by her head coach, Pat Reardon. Oots pops one high into foul territory. Easy play for Addie Kashnik. She throws the horns up, letting folks know there's 2 down in the top of the 5th. Joely Crider up to bat. Eight up, 8 down for Oregon Tech. They'll go to the bats in the bottom of the 5th.
Excellence knows it's not going to be perfect.
It's about putting courage first.
Taking risks. Trusting my athleticism.
Canceling out the negativity.
Because preparation equals confidence.
And confidence is born from courage.
What's your mantra?
At Spring Arbor University, we develop world changers focused on shining the light of Jesus Christ into the world. They are engineers, nurses, business professionals, teachers, athletes, musicians, social workers, and other industry leaders, bringing excellence to their work for the glory of God. Join our thousands of students and graduates and let your light shine at Spring Arbor University.
Back in Columbus, Georgia. Kyle Bonet, Deshaun Bullock, Ryan McCachran, Will Lawrence, our camera crew. Working the entire tournament here. As many as 19 games to be broadcast through next Wednesday, where a national champion will be crowned and a red banner will be awarded. Oregon Tech's Zoe Allen grounds out to start the bottom of the fifth. The Oregon Tech Owls held the #1 spot in the last 4 coaches' polls after starting the season ranked number 7. They're the #1 seed in the bracket for good reason. Another grounder between the legs, the grab and the toss, still in time. Madison White putting on a show. Madison White had that one go between her legs. She reached back, could have been an error. Instead, she gets it over to Palumbo in time for out number 2. Quickly now, Maggie Buckholt steps up with 2 down. Maggie, a renewable energy and electrical engineering double major at the best institution for engineering in the state of Oregon. And she's a darn good softball player to boot. Batting .418 this season, tops of her team. Line drive over the head of Caitlin Kaiser. Buckholtz turns around second. A stand-up triple for Maggie Buckholtz. Well over the head of Caitlin Kaiser, who started in. And now she's got to have a word with Pat Reardon, the head coach. Might have been shaken up on that. That left leg seems to bother her. First base umpire is out there to talk as well. Coach Reardon says she's all right. Adam McAloney heads back to his first base station. Maggie Buckholtz still stands at third base. Gets some time to catch her breath after she put on the wheels. Turning 3 for the first hit of the bottom of the 5th. That brings up J.C. Sievert. The sophomore Skies one towards right again. The leg doesn't bother Kaiser. She makes the play to retire the side. (4-1) heading to the 6th.
I have a little birthday message for you from someone too.
I heard you really love basketball. You're a good shooter and a good dribbler. Happy birthday, MJ, and I hope you enjoy your day.
Thank you. You're welcome.
It was an eventful third inning following the 3 runs put up on the board from Oregon Tech in the bottom of the second. Since then, zeros put up for the last 2 innings. How will the 6th play out? It starts with a grounder to short, fielded, still in time for the out. A heads-up play for Kayla Mick at shortstop. Even after the bobbled exchange from glove to hand, she recovers and saves herself from the first error for the World Series against Oregon Tech. 3 errors in this game, all to Central Methodist. Seems to be the difference. Both teams with 4 hits. The only score that matters, 4-1, Oregon Tech. Elizabeth Palumbo batting .306 this season in the 4-hole. Down 1-2. Unlike most coaches in the World Series, Coach Greg Stewart not calling the pitches. I asked Coach Stewart who was going to be calling the game. He said J.C. Sievert, the sophomore. Why, I asked? He said, it's more fun that way. Give the game back to the players, he said. Doing that allows the players to trust each other more. More of a relationship built on the diamond between the pitcher and the catcher. Two away. Casey Schmidt is so comfortable in the circle after releasing a pitch. Casey Schmidt has now recorded a ground out, a pop out, and a line out. If she can track one down in center field, she'll complete for the defensive cycle. But I don't think there's a chance for Casey Schmidt to record a flyout on the defensive side of the ball. all in good fun. Casey has been fantastic today. A reason for her 26-1 record. If we could get another look at her career stats for this season. I think it's worth another look for the sophomore Casey Schmidt. We'll get it to you the next time she's out. Schmidt daps up Puakea Milbourne, who makes the play at first to retire the side. Perhaps this is the last time we'll see the Oregon Owls bat today in the bottom of the 6th.
The landscape of sports is changing. AI is the next evolution. We're bringing it to fields and gyms everywhere with Huddle Focus. Just mount it, set it, and forget it. Multiple lenses, AI player tracking, automatic recording, or record on the fly with the Focus app, instant uploads, and flexible live streaming options. AI is changing sports. Use it to your advantage. Visit huddle.com/focus today.
Brian Soule steps out from behind the catcher Lauren Hill for a hot second, just as we thought we were ready to go. First pitch of the bottom of the 6th for Haley Cotter. In there for strike 1. Oregon Tech with 1 hit last time out for Maggie Buchholz, a triple. She was left there. This is Lexi Klum's 3rd appearance today. Reached on an error in the 2nd. Grounded out her last time. She skies one to left center. Casey Joely makes the play. Mackenzie Staub reached on a walk in the 2nd. Grounded out in the 3rd. Good for 50% in the World Series. Takes strike 1. The loser of this game will play Georgia Gwinnett tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Quick turnaround. Grounder to 3rd. Across the diamond from Crider to Palumbo. Quickly around the horn. 2 down in the bottom of the 6th. Puakea Milbourne stands in. The grounder to short. Easy rainbow toss across the diamond. Just like that. 1, 2, 3. We're heading to the 7th. Central Methodist needs to put together 3 runs in this next inning. Otherwise, they head to the elimination bracket tomorrow.
Sell online tickets directly from your school's website. Scan digital or printed tickets with the Hometown Gate app. And get immediate access to ticket revenue with real-time reporting at no cost to your school. It's that easy to bring touchless ticketing to your hometown. Hometown, Fast scans, happy fans.
I've been thinking about this for a long time. I thought, if that's out there, I want to make sure I see it and I get involved in it, because to me, this was music to my ears. I was blown away. When you look at today's kid, the millennium kid, they learn by being able to see it. If I can see it, it's a great chance that I can do it. The First Down Playbook is a tool that can essentially change the way we teach the game.
Casey Schmidt delivers ball one. Here in the top of the seventh. It's Montana Stengel leading things off for Central Methodist. One more time, we want to look at the numbers for Casey Schmidt. Just one loss this year. 184 strikeouts. She's got 2 strikeouts today, giving her 186 on the season. And she's 1 strike away from adding 1 more. The confident, calm, cool, and collected sophomore. This is the zone. She's not phased. Neither is her shortstop, Kayla Mick, who creeped into the frame momentarily. The 2-2. Cracked right to second, caught by Nita Cook. One down, Oregon Tech. 2 outs away from advancing to Saturday's matchup with Southern Oregon. It would be an all-Cascade Conference third-round matchup. Schmidt deals a beauty for strike 1. Last year, the Owls lost the opening game to USAO 3-0. And then in the loser bracket, ran into Southeastern. A 3-2 loss knocked them out of the NAIA World Series in 2022. That coming off the heels of a championship loss to Southern Oregon. The 3-1. 2 bouncer to Cook. Over to Milbourne, not in time. Casey Joely beats it out. She can't believe it. A bang, bang play. Adam McAloney made the call at first. A runner now at first, 1 down. The crack of the bat to short. We've got an all-Cascade Conference matchup coming tomorrow. Oregon Tech, after waiting 3 days since arriving in Georgia, finally got their chance to show up and show out, which they did. A 4-1 thwarting of the Eagles of Central Methodist, and they ended in style. 6-4, and the 1-hop scoop for Milbourne at first. Beautiful. You can't ask for anything better for Oregon Tech. Casey Schmidt goes the distance. 7 innings pitched for Casey. An impressive line for her. Despite allowing 5 hits, Schmidt and company keeps the Eagles to just 1 run in the top of the 3rd. Those fans that made the long trip down south applaud their team. Schmidt ends with 5 hits against 1 earned run, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts on 88 total pitches. An impressive showing. One loss handed to Central Methodist. That sends them to the loser bracket for a meeting with Georgia Gwinnett tomorrow at 10 a.m. It'll be the battle of 5 versus 8. Bright and early, we'll have it here on the NAIA network. Saturday at 4 p.m. Game 3 on the day tomorrow. It'll be a rematch of the 2021 World Series Championship. Oregon Tech and Southern Oregon. Who will claim the spot in the quarterfinal? We shall find out tomorrow at 4. That game also here on the NAIA network. If you joined us for the day or just for this game, we thank you for taking time out of your Friday, meeting with us from east to west coast. One more game today on our networks. Our Lady of the Lake makes their debut as the number 2 seed in the bracket, taking on number 7 Marion. That game coming up in just about 90 minutes. So go ahead, grab your dinner or lunch if you're out on the West Coast, and tune back in to enjoy Our Lady of the Lake and Marion at 7 p.m. Eastern. My thanks to our entire crew for the camera work done by Kyle Bonet, Sean Bullock, Ryan McCachran, Will Lawrence, Jeff Giles on the graphics, Adam Hamill on the 1s and 2s, all put together by our executive producer, Chase Neidig. For that crew, my name is Jack Cruiser, saying so long, folks. Till next time, I bid you adieu.